what we're talking about ain't a hoax.
Check it. You see, like what you're saying. So that's the balance there. But then don't you guys think that sometimes you have
That
to
was
take
wrong,
the
and I
rough with
knew
the
that,
smooth
bro.
in terms of the criticism as well? Because on one hand, yeah, you are journalists of your community and you're talking about what's happening. But then there is a side of it that you have to take responsibility to know that, like, my little 14-year-old cousin will come and tell me about your songs. Or, like, I'll go on Instagram and I'll see little 9-year-olds holding up knives, repeating back lyrics. So you have to hold yourselves responsible and accountable for that. Because one day,
not necessarily.
Not
necessarily.
We're gonna do it one by one, guys. Come on.
They didn't actively go out and find that child and say,
Are
listen to my music.
gangster rappers or black boys or men that are violent, are they the majority in his community?
Can I say something?
Yes or no?
Of course not.
They're not.
I don't think many rappers will describe themselves as gangster rappers.
Right.
You are profiling them as gangster
Yeah,
rappers. You interpret what they say as gangster.
Well, that's what I thought this was about.
But their lives may be gangster. That's the point man's trying to make.
Yeah, I deal with gangster rap still.
He's his hospital, yeah. Sorry, can I just want to get, we need everyone to answer this, please. Yes, yourself, sorry.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My
Hello.
apologies, first and foremost, for any swears. I mean every word of them.
It's all right.
I'm hearing a lot about how life is shit and life is hard and
No, it's not shit.
economic and all of these influences and how
That's
it's real
great.
and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go back to this gentleman, so I can't see you, but you made a...
Ryan.
Yeah, he made a point about taking responsibility. You might not be outwardly promoting what is going on in your reality on the street, because it is reality on the street, but it glamorizes it. Just like, and it's not just within music, it's within film, media, all of those things that are out there, and they do have a subconscious effect on you, on us, on you, and your listeners, your audience. I would like to ask this question. If you're talking about the reality of life and how awful it is, and how terrible it is, and how there's so many influences,
It could be worse.
and you know that you have impact and audience, what are you now doing to go out to those youngers, those young people, and get in their faces, impact their lives, in their faces to say, this is what's going on, here's how to do it differently.
Sorry, what's your name, darling?
My name is Jude. I'm not done, thank you. That you have to be the change that you want to see. We all sit here, but for the efforts of people that came before us. Hard work, crazy mad stuff that we take for granted, that enables us to sit here in this forum, talking, being filmed, and having our message put out there. So I'm trying to be the change that I want to see. Tell me now, if I was to bring my 10-year-old son in here, what are you going to tell him to show him to be the change that you want to see? To tell him that despite the truth that's going on in the streets that we can't seem to escape, because all I'm hearing is a pity party, and I'll accept that for a little bit, but only for a little bit. What are you going to do? What are you trying to show him that is not, doesn't have to be his reality, it doesn't have to be his truth? Tell me what you're going to do now.
I'm going to wait for you to share because you're his mum. But Sibs, yeah? You're from my corner, yeah? Wolfenstall, yeah? This is this person that talks about shooting and stabbing, all these things in my songs, yeah? But, you know the youths from the Drive, the youths from Prairie, yeah? They were shooting each other and all that. Do you know what? I squashed that, yeah? On my ends. I squashed that. I stopped that. I stopped that. I had the phone up and yo, you lot, louder. And I bring them together and squashed that. There's no beef with Wolfenstall, no. They're not shooting each other. They're not me that's talking about all this stuff on tunes. Me. And you know why? Because I had the power to do it. See, like what I said, we got more power than we think. I agree. But guess what? I use that in the right way.
Come on, brother.
Like, and that's all it is. You understand? Like, they look up to man for certain things and you have to use it in the right way. You get what I'm trying to say to you?
Where you are, especially in your career, like you've been rapping for a long time.
Yeah, too long.
You know, people know you. Your foundation
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the scene.
yeah.
Like you were rapping before UK rap was even popular. Let's be honest.
Of course.
But then guys like yourself, Skengdo and AM now, you're on kind of, no disrespect, but you're in a new wave of things. And you're on this YouTube wave of things where Spray would have had physical CDs. You guys are online and millions of young people are watching your stuff and they look up to you. So what's the next thing? Where's the next place you're going to lead them to with your music?
You know what it is? But I accept the responsibility in the sense that, cool, what we was talking about before was for us and we didn't expect it to go where it went. So now when it's gone there, and we're looking at all these kids, we do, first of all, within the music, we're talking about stabbing and getting stabbed, shooting and getting shot. So why you, a kid that looks and says, I just want to do the shooting, you know you're going to get shot as well. You know what I'm saying? So that message is still there. It's not, we're not hiding the truth from anyone. Number one. Number two, now that we're in this position, now that's when you have to think, cool. Because we're not the ones to go in there and build stuff and do it because we ain't got the money. At the end of the day, we're still going back there and we're living the reality that we're talking about. But
some of the stuff you're building doesn't require money. You might be building self-respect. You might be building consciousness within that person.
yeah, and this is what I mean about realizing the position that we're in now. Now that's when we look back on our stuff and look forward and say, cool, what are we going to do from now? Because we ain't going to sell out. We're going to stay real. And that's the thing that people don't want you to. They don't want you to stay real. They want you to get to that stage and take this off. You know what I mean? But that's how I started. If I don't get any further than where I'm getting because of the way I look or because of what I'm saying, then I'm going to stay there, continue doing what I'm doing. But it's just cool, accepting the responsibility and being able to tweak or just obviously incorporate some positive as well as, but more, you know what I mean? And positive as well as keeping it raw, I see.
And you can do it in a lot of ways. You got telling you, like a lot of rappers, they put on events and then
Come on, Carns.
They put on fundraisers, they go to prisons, they do. There's a lot of things that you will, and they don't glamorize them. They talk about them things there, so you would never get to know. You ask them.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that I done a fundraiser the other day. No, but I'm saying. No, but do you know what it is, Mum? Yeah. Do you know what it is, Mum? Yeah. I respect your opinion, yeah, wholeheartedly, yeah. But what it is now, yeah. Okay, we're role models, yeah. I accept that I'm a role model, safe, great, but I can't be the only role model out here, yeah. And see what I'm a role model to. I'm a role model for bad kids, yeah. Everyone needs a role model, even the bad kids, yeah. And then the bad kids, they're gonna have a role model that's some little cheat or someone that, you get what I'm trying to say? They're gonna have a role model like me that's been through what they've been through. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I'm cool with being that role model. Cause look where I am. I'm like, do you get? I should be. Trust me. I should be next door to man doing 30. Believe me. Do you understand? But I'm out here with the next man, with Brother Mohammed or whatever. I'm next to him. You understand? And that's because music changed my life. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop talking about what's going on, or you get reporting things what's happening in the hood. But like I said, I always give a different message as well. I always make sure try and leave another message as well, not just the rude way.
You take me to the powers. So whoever it is that you believe the organisational powers that are stopping progression in urban culture.
Like who? I don't know who you're talking about.
It might be the police. It might be government. It might be the schools.
Am I doing what? Am I doing what to them? Sorry? Am I taking a message to them?
Yeah.
That will go in through one ear and out the other. Police.
You have to keep talking.
I don't want to talk to police.
You have to keep talking the message. You can't talk the message once and expect everyone to be on where you are at the same time. It doesn't work that way.
In his defense, though, he's got loads of songs that address these things. He's got, what's that? I'm here for a reason, said for a reason.
Yeah, you know every lyric. Yeah.
Listen, vote for the Lord, because the politicians just provoke war. They provoke young boys to use guns. I don't blame them. You only get heard if you make noise.
You only get heard if you make noise.
That's like, I'm from Tottenham. I've sold drugs, I've banged straps, everything. I've gone uni as well. I've listened to Brother Mohammed. I've been listening for the last 10 years. I'm a product of this environment. It's on you as an individual what you want to do. And I listen to gangster music every single day. So no one can blame gangster music.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying that.
Sorry, I've heard what you say, but you're a big man. Wait, you're a big man.
That's a good point.
You've gone through your ego.
No, he was listening to me when he was younger. I've been rapping for like 15 years.
No, but we're talking about.
So he wasn't a big man. That lyric was even like over 10 years old. So he wouldn't have been a...
Throughout my whole journey, I've been listening to Brother Mohammed. Throughout my whole journey, I've made my own choices. It's on you. It's on you. I'm from here. This is my strip. I'm from here. 100%. And I'm a proud business owner.
Come on.
You can businesses. Do it. It's got nothing to do, like, I get it. It does have influence on people. Cool. But at the end of the day,
I don't see how they
it's how you're raised.
Man
What
got me the president.
I found ambition in what I was hearing from them.
I don't see that something that elevates the culture so much. Elevates the culture so much, provides so much jobs, takes so many people off the street. There's so much for the culture. Does it? does so much.
Music doesn't. Music doesn't. Music doesn't. It hasn't given me a living. I make up my children. Hear me? Hold on. Hold on. But let's address it. Let's address what you're saying. Let's address what you're saying, though. Let's address what you're saying.
I responded to what he said.
One second.
Hold on.
You can make a living of selling traffic in Wimbledon. It doesn't mean.
We're talking about music. We're talking about music.
The whole point was it makes it positive.
Hip hop.
Didn't say that. I said it's been positive for me, as in I make a living.
Content of what's been produced is that positive. That's what I'm saying. It's all saying I made a living of rap. That's some of the things that come up. What I'm trying to say is that because you made a living or it's been able to change your life,
but it's good for you. Maybe not for society, but as an individual, it's good.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a good thing to do it. That's what I'm saying. So I can
That's
rob
a
the
great
bank
thing.
and I can make money and I'm set for life. I'm
No,
good to
because you
go.
might get
But that's
nicked.
what my
You might
actions
get
are.
nicked
You know
and
what I'm
get
saying?
fired.
Yeah, but robbing the bank.
Don't get me wrong, I agree with
This is
everything with the whole rap. I agree with the
this is
journalism. I agree
illegal.
with
This
the
is
fact that
illegal way of making money. You're talking
Yes.
about trafficking. That's illegal. That is illegal. I know, but that is illegal. That's illegal. We're talking about we're talking about this is something legal. This is something legal we could do. Legal. You understand? We're used to doing illegal. We're used to doing.
Guys. Yeah. Hold on.
Marianne, and I do apologise, but I have to go in a moment.
Okay.
I live in Kensington, Chelsea, and I've been working very closely on the ground with Grenfell. The discussion today has been so inspirational for me because our young people are going through the most devastating loss, and they don't have a voice at the moment. They're not able to control the narrative. I would really value the opportunity of being able to have a similar sort of event, but within our Grenfell community, because this is very, very important. And what's happened in our community 5.5 months in, the young people's voice needs to be heard before the archives are rewritten in a different way. Those golden nuggets from a youth perspective need to be heard. So please, we've got an event for young people tonight, and I have to go. But Nana is my really good friend, and it would be really, really good if we could have a discussion. I really need to get your contact details. But please, it's a genuine offer. If we can meet up again and talk a bit more, co-create an event similar to this, but co-create it with our young people because they need to have a voice. And this has been really, really exciting, but I need to be back for something else at 6 o'clock, which you can't be late for, and it's for our young people. Okay? Nana's got my details, and I'm really honoured to have met all of you. Please give me your contact details in the back.
Sister.
And buy this book.
Sister, you made a valid point. You asked the question. You basically asked. I think you put it to Spray. You said it was basically. Well, no. Spray made a point back to you. He said it's down to you to educate your children. Basically, everyone's looking to artists, producers. Yeah, but the responsibility falls on you. I know. Okay. So at that point, you can't even ask the question as to what because it's down to you. If your child listens to gangster rap, it means he's been raised in a certain way. Or
not necessarily.
Hold on. Let me say. Wait, I don't mean as in a gangster way. I mean in a certain environment. A certain environment.
I think what the sister aligns to, because when people say with respect to the parent, I feel like I've got a mentality where it takes a village to raise a child, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of my friends who went the worst ways, their parents were on crack. Or, do you know what I'm saying? They was going through, they might have lost their parents, they was going through some big things where they didn't really have parents, and because they didn't have parents, the streets becomes your parent. You understand? That's what happens a lot of the time. And another thing people are leaving out is, and I know Young Spray knows, he's one of the OGs that man used to listen to growing up, and I'm here talking some revolutionary shit. And these are the man that I used to listen to. I wasn't listening to a Carla. Do you get me? Per se, I respected a Carla more when I came into knowledge, and I understood, but I wasn't listening to them, man. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Craze 24. Sometimes it feels sometimes it feels nobody understands. A young man trying hard to complete the plan. God should be just like us, strong hearts, strong minds, and ready to bust. I was like 11, 12 listening to them bars. Those were gangster lyrics, but there was a story within the lyrics that has got me to where I am today. So it definitely doesn't mean that it's a negative thing. Now when we're looking at when we're looking at the takes a village to raise a child and the mindset, I feel like the main thing that we've said today is that balance is key, innit? You get me? And even the brothers from Skengdo and AM said, you know what? Now we've heard and we've been able. Now that you've reached out to us. Yeah. now that we've spoken with our people, it might just change something. Do you know what I'm saying? But what we have now is pockets of other youth that we haven't reached. We've got pockets of other youth that we haven't reached.
Different generations, like you know, when man was flipping, when man started rapping, you know, we was doing the most out here. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But man wasn't coming in with no bellies or none of that. Man was face out.
Yeah.
This is what now the youths. Everyone got bellies. Everyone, it's mad. Like mask. Like to me,
yeah.
But I didn't want to be seen. I promise you, I done more than any of them.
But they saw the birds that young. They saw the birds. They saw the birds that man was doing.
No. It's not even that, bro. It's like see me, fam. It's like if you're doing one thing or the other. If you're doing music, do music. You don't need to hide your face.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be having to do anything else. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You shouldn't be having to do anything else. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you shouldn't be having to do anything else. My face is out. I was still living the life, bro.
I feel like...
They were watching our videos as well. They were watching...
When you was
watching our videos. We was on Channel U, flossing.
I remember all of
flossing.
The main is more...
I'm trying to say, we were getting blamed for all this shit.
You watch on YouTube just like that, and the fact is they ain't trying to be stopped to search and all the rest of it and the rest. So they'd rather not show the face. I think it's more factors.
And I feel like the main thing about the streets is to make it and get your family out, to make it some way. Yeah, this was what the streets was for me personally. And I would say that my reason for being there was real, because I wanted to make it and get out. You understand, fam? And provide for my family. That's why I was out there. You get me? And I feel like that's why most men are out there. If you ask them why they're out there, is to make it and get out. Now, man's making it and getting out by selling crack. Man's making it and getting out by robbing man. Man's making it and getting out by licking a grow yard. And then I find out that me just rapping in a booth, which is fully legal, can help me to make it and get out. And that means that I don't have to sell crack no more. Swear down. Because the main thing, what people don't understand is when people, like I was on the grind one time and someone said, yo, Ras, what you doing? You're a Rasta man. Like, how you out here grinding like that? And I said, yo, bro, pay my rent. I had a bill coming up, so I had to get out. After I had to go out into the fields. I didn't have a choice. It's not something I wanted to do. I hate going out there. I hate the feeling of feds having something where they can enslave me.
We've all got a choice.
Nah, fam, sometimes there's no choice.
We just got more ambition. We've all got a choice. Because next man will go job centre. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You don't have to go and commit crime. It's just that we've got more ambition. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like some people, we've all got a choice. You don't have to do crime. You don't have to promote that you have to do crime.
Get 9 to 5.
You could go back to college. Go back.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about just living, fam. I'm talking about this society is a society that says if you do not own nothing, you are nothing. That's the society we live in. You understand? So I'm saying that if that's what the society is telling you, that if you do not have anything, if you ain't got Gucci, if you ain't, I don't believe in none of it, but if you ain't even got anything,
I just don't like when people say that. Oh, I had to do this. So I know you couldn't.
You know what?
I didn't have to do nothing.
Let's bring it back.
So you know him. You understand?
Yeah, you might have one. You get me? But I know there's definitely man. I know definitely there's man that had to do certain things.
They didn't have to.
Well, felt like they had to. Yeah.
They didn't have to.
So we should listen twice as much as we speak.
All right. So any other questions? I missed the segment of it. Any other questions?
I don't know if it's a question or a statement or a point or whatever, but I'm listening. So I suppose one I want to ask the panel: do you think it was a chicken and egg kind of situation? So what do I mean by that? Did the music
egg come first or the chicken?
Yeah, did the music come first or the behaviour? Because I'm probably a little bit older than some of you on the a couple of you on the panel. So in terms of, I can remember how hip hop started in England and how the vibration of hip hop or whatever. And for myself, hip hop started in England with people like Public Enemy and that type of vibration.
Rodney P and them, man.
Rodney P
and them, man.
Coming back to what I think one of the first persons said about that sort of correlation with hip hop and Islam and so forth, sort of fighting power, all that.
Come on.
Okay. 100%.
Ice Cube.
Well, yeah, we know, but how it started.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So what I'm putting forward is that it's my actual opinion the music came before the action. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, in England, I feel that the way in which youth them are going on in England now is as a result of the music, not necessarily as a result of their input. I don't agree with that.
So that's you know what?
Music's always been an expression, especially rap, or expression of your life. So from when you had that feeling sometimes, it made me wonder why you wanted to. Or them old school ones, that was what was going on for them then. There was a gutter, man was selling food, crack came on the scene. And that's happening.
Yeah,
now
it's
just continued in that. Unfortunately, things have got worse in the culture, so now they're talking about different things. The knife, I don't feel like someone's rapped about a knife and the sun is I want to carry a knife.
Hey, listening. Who made Postcode Wars national? Was it the gangster rappers? It was the media, the news outlets that made Postcode Wars national when they started to, when there was a little 1-2 postcode in the Tottenham and Woodbury might have had beef. And they, listen, yeah, but what I'm saying is they're victims. They're victims because remember, they're growing up and that's what they're seeing.
Say that we're victims,
fam, no, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's not that. No, fam, are you listening? No, you know what is with me? I know how my brothers are. So when I'm speaking and I'm defending my brothers, it's because I know my brothers don't. So I'm speaking in a way that I know is going to be effective in the long run. There's going to be conversations that I've had off camera. I remember off camera, man, there's going to be more fire. But I'm not gonna allow the system to make this a gangs versus the consciousness and make us divide. That was my agenda for being on this panel today. You understand? So that's why I'm always defending the man them. At the same time, the man them, and they said themselves. That's why I don't even have to get onto them. Young Spray said, Skengdo said, 410 said, yeah. They said they're gonna think about it. Young Spray showed you he's got it already in the toe. It's not like the man them have said, nah. We're just gonna.
The thing is, I'm gonna say,
you know what I'm saying?
I haven't come in to berate anyone or make anyone feel like they can't talk about what they want to talk about. I grew up listening to that type of stuff. That's just something I choose not to do. Everyone's life, path, choice, whatever is completely different. Each to their own.
100%.
But I have to say this in terms of like what this lady just said here. I feel a similar vibration in that I think we're just following what has happened in the US. Like, all right, stuff's been going on in the streets. We got street crime, drug dealing, whatever. Yeah, that's everywhere around the world where there's problems. We have those same problems. But the problem, no, let me finish, brother. Let me finish.
What are you looking at here?
All right. Let me finish his point. When he finishes his point, discussion.
All right, we know you got the jab. Yeah, we know you got the right.
In that, like, without going into too much about my background, Nana may have told some of you people off camera like what I've done. Sorry, that's me. That's the way I talk.
Nothing at all. Right? Don't start all that nonsense. Come on.
Anyway, it's like the music and the YouTube generation now, because young people are seeing, oh look, that guy grew up on my ends. Raw, I remember him selling drugs. Raw, I remember he stabbed my man. Oh, Raw, look, he's made it off now. Raw, he's making money. I'm gonna do that too. That's a great way out. Because you know what? I'm not seeing a doctor doing that. I'm not seeing a scientist or anyone else. I'm not seeing people like Nana going and rapping about what they're doing. But I'm seeing these man. So these are my role models. I'm gonna take after them and what they're doing. I just want a little bit more balance. And I feel like the people that have all these 8 million, 10 million, X amount of views and got all this power, why is it out of 20 tunes you don't straight come out and say, boom,
do you want me to tell you the answer to all of that?
Consciously, you shouldn't be doing that. Because
don't ask your own question. Don't ask your own question.
It's spray.
Yeah, but brother, what did you tell me you done before? What did you tell me you done before, brother?
Wait, brother. Dads. Fathers. Yeah? Fathers. Only fathers can raise men. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? I had a single mother. My mother never done nothing bad, never broke the law, never done nothing. Brought me up right. I didn't have a dad to tell me, yo, or make me so shook. From when I was 11, my mom couldn't beat me again. My mom beat me when I was don't do that again.
But that was your life, and that's not the same for everyone.
No, but you don't understand what I'm trying to say to you. You don't understand what I'm trying to say to you. You don't understand. As far as role models are concerned, yeah, if you've got a father, that's your first role. That's your role model. You ain't got time to go and look. down the road that who's selling this. Do you think my youth could come and tell me about, Dad, my man, I'm going to fight you? Stupid. Like, do you think you could tell me anything about someone else?
But right now,
off the road.
You know what?
I've got a question for you though. Brother, what did you say?
If he says I'm his role model, it's because he's got no father, bro. No, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Brother Leo,
he's got no father.
Guys, cool. Respect.
I'm a role model for bad
Conversation.
kids.
Respect, man. Conversation for 10 minutes.
I'm a role model for bad kids. not for good kids.
Brothers and sisters, thinking comes first, the word follows, then the actions. That's the order of the universe. It's immutable law. Nobody can bypass it. So we have to think about the things that we say, what we do, because it carries power, it carries weight. This is in terms of the rap and so on and so forth. The scripture says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Not the lack of money, not the lack of a gun or a knife or anything like that, the lack of knowledge. We have been totally destroyed as a people. And again, if we don't acknowledge that, because I'm a Jamaican, I was born in Jamaica. And Jamaicans are some of the most arrogant people on the planet because they will tell me, know that already. You can't tell me nothing. Once you say that, you closed off every avenue of learning. We have to become humble again, brothers and sisters. The scripture says, lest ye become like a child, you cannot enter into the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of God ain't no place up in the sky. It's right here that you and I can make it for ourselves, or we can live in hell. You can have two people standing next to one another. One's in hell, the other one's in heaven. That's it. And the difference is just the way they think. That's all it is. Look, family, I'm saying this. Look, our ancestors, every person in this room, you are directly related to one of our ancestors who fought, bled, and died so that we could be here today. And if Bob Marley asked this question, are you satisfied with the life you're living? Do we really think that this is who black people are? This ain't us, man. This ain't us. And we can change this reality. We don't have to keep on saying, oh, yeah, I'm down, it's where I am, it's the ghetto, it's this. And this idea that somehow this money is going to allow us to get out and go where? Mike Tyson thought you'd gotten out. O.J. Simpson thought you'd gotten out. Frank Bruno thought you'd gotten out.
Talk about getting out of the streets.
I understand, brother. But my point is that, see, when are we going to own some streets? The black man today is missing in action. And I'm appealing to the men in this room, the fathers in particular. See, the young people, the young men, Rassis, he ain't that young. He's coming up now in age. But I'm talking about some of these youngsters that you see out there today. They are disillusioned because they can't see no black men. That's why they have to be running things themselves. And it's literally the blind leading the blind. But as black men, we got to take back charge. We got to stand up. We got to come together. If the young brothers saw the men, the fathers coming together and determining that we're going to do something for ourselves. Brother, you're right about the village. But guess what? We ain't got no village. There is no village. And that's our problem. There is no unity. I hear most of the talk here is about individualism. That's not even the psyche of black people. The psyche of black people is one for all and all for one. Alexander Dumas, who wrote The Three Musketeers, is a black man. He coined that phrase. Look, family, let me close on this. I'm really appealing to us, yeah? Because I didn't come here today to cuss off no gangster rapper or no rappers or no negativity. What I'm saying is, there's room for all of it. When I was coming up, for instance, one of the albums that I used to want to go to war, and not go to war in a negative way, but one of the albums that fired me up was Biggie Smalls talking about Ready to Die. And that album was very negative in terms of the death culture that it promoted, but the beats fired me up. MCD fired me up. Yeah, give me the loop. Come on. You understand what I'm saying? But because I was at the same time feeding on, I was educating myself, which is very important. We have to be feeding on a lot of positivity in order to be able to counterbalance that negative. But if the negative is all we're feeding on, believe me, you will, like a zombie, find yourself doing stuff and you're wondering, why am I even doing this? Because you don't understand how the subconscious works. And especially if you're emotional, especially if you're in pain. Anytime you're in pain, be it physical or emotional pain, and you listen to something like that, it influences you.
It's like a drug.
It influences you. It's very powerful. It's more powerful than drugs.
That's it.
Yeah, and you don't appreciate why you're doing certain things, why you're treating women the way we're treating women. But a lot of it's got to do with the lyrics and whatever. And so what I would encourage the brothers on the platform to do, who are music makers, producers and whatever, just be mindful of that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying to you now you have to go stitch up your whole thing and start as the brother said, a lot of the so-called conscious music, it's boring. It's boring. It's preachy.
It's the way it's packaged.
It's preachy, yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
When I was listening to
so we got
back
to
in the
package
day,
it. We got to package it like how we package the gangster.
And then when we do
that beat's got to be tough. Of course. But that's going back to the village.
But
That's going back to the village. We can't support anything as individuals. We have to understand that for our survival, we need
why though? Why young Spring?
we need soldiers.
Why?
We need soldiers. We need soldiers.
There could be an agenda.
I'm gonna finish. I'm finishing, brothers. I'm finishing. We need soldiers. I'm appealing to you. Come into the nation. Let's build an army. The enemy does not respect us while we remain a rabble. He only respects us when he sees that we are unified, when he sees that black men love black men. Yeah, believe me, that scares the life out of it. That's why Farrakhan is banned. Understand why he's banned. Because my background is 7 years in prison. That's my background. I used to be a banger. I used to dance in the club with the sawn-off shotgun over my shoulder, under my coat. That's my background. I can't speak for nobody else. But Farrakhan's word transformed me. My first 3 children, when they were born, I was in jail. My last 4 children, not only have I been there at the birth, I've delivered them myself. That's the kind of transformation we're talking about. See this young brother here? He's here looking after me, taking care of me. That's my brother. We didn't grow up in the same vicinity or nothing like that. But the enemy recognizes that this is how we've got to become. Your group, brother. Powerful, awesome. And I want you to continue to build that, but you've got to be trained. We've got to be organized. It's got to be done.
I hear you, yeah. But sometimes you see that, this ain't no thing, yeah. But that's the tone that I was talking about, though. Yeah. You get me? Like, sometimes we got to be changed. You get me, fam? Like,
I know.
Sometimes you don't realize we might be doing it.
I know.
We might be doing it.
I know you are. But I want us to have a conversation. But what I'm saying is, this is not about talking down to anybody. But what I'm saying, brothers and sisters,
definitely got to be trained.
In closing, see, we don't need preaching, but we do need teaching. Believe me, the enemy is our. That man never treated us right. What makes us think that same man is going to teach us right? It's not going to happen. We got to teach ourselves. I thank you for allowing me to come here today.